You say you want money, more of it, consistent income, overflow. But let me ask you something most people never consider. What if money wants you, but you've been pushing it away without realizing it? Not through your actions, through your beliefs. Not through your job, through your identity. You don't get what you deserve in life. You get what you believe you're worth. This video highlights 7 signs that you're subconsciously pushing money away. Because sometimes, the obstacle preventing your abundance is hiding in plain sight, subconsciously dwelling within your blind spots. It's the tiny habits, the throwaway phrases, the internalized guilt. The financial shame no one taught you how to unlearn. Money is energy, and like any energy, it responds to the tone you set. If your energy says, "I'm not ready," "I'm not good enough," or "I shouldn't want more," guess what? Money listens, and it leaves. This isn't just a mindset problem, it's an identity conflict. And if you don't fix it at the root, you'll sabotage every dollar that tries to stay in your life. So before we go any further, hit that subscribe button below if you're ready to catch the patterns that have been costing you your wealth. Because these signs, they don't just reveal where you've been wrong about money. They reveal how to finally get it right. Let's start with the first one, and it's the one nobody wants to admit. Let's talk about guilt, the silent wealth repellent. If even the idea of talking about money makes you cringe, hesitate, or feel a little bad, that's not humility, that's a wound. And chances are, it's one of the ways you've been pushing money away without even noticing. You know the signs. Someone compliments your success, and you downplay it. Oh, it was nothing. You get a bonus, and you feel weird sharing it. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. You raise your prices, then feel the need to apologize. Where does that come from? Usually childhood, or culture, or a story you absorbed like secondhand smoke. Talking about money is rude. Wanting more is greedy. Real success is quiet. Let me tell you something that'll change your life. You're allowed to want more without guilt. You're allowed to talk about money, own your desires, and receive without apology. Money doesn't avoid you because you're not working hard enough. It avoids you because you feel bad letting it stay. Wealthy people talk about money like it's normal, because it is. They plan it, strategize around it, and speak about it with clarity and certainty. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. Because when guilt leads, abundance fades. Up next, we're going deeper into another sign, one that's hiding in your pricing, your job, and your self-worth. Let's talk about a quiet form of financial self-sabotage. You undercharge or undervalue your work. You think you're just being fair or reasonable. You think, "I don't want to scare clients away," or "I'm not that experienced yet." But deep down, it's not about strategy. It's about self-worth. Let me tell you about Lena. She's a wildly talented designer. Her work is clean, beautiful, praised by every client. But she was barely scraping by. Why? Because she was charging $50 for work others were billing $500 for. When a client once offered to pay her more, she literally said, "No, that's too much." She talked money out of her own hands. And just like that, she was pushing money away while thinking she was doing the right thing. You see, money isn't just attracted to hard work. It's attracted to certainty. If you send the signal that you're not worth more, money listens. It's not about being greedy. It's about pricing from confidence, not insecurity. Wealthy people don't apologize for charging value. They don't shrink their rates to stay likable. They know their worth, and they charge accordingly. Take Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, or Bill Gates. Do you think they built empires by apologizing for what they charge? Let's use Netflix as an example. 1 in 10 people has a subscription. You think the shareholders behind Netflix feels bad about it? Not at all. The moral of the story? Value your work. Price it without pain. And stop treating your worth like a discount rack. So if this hit you like a mirror, comment "worthy" down below. Own your value. Don't whisper it. Up next, We're diving into the habit that silently delays wealth: procrastination. Let's be honest, procrastination is the most expensive habit no one takes seriously. You don't feel it when you hit "remind me later" on that budgeting app. You don't hear it when you tell yourself, "I'll deal with it next month." But you absolutely feel it when you check your balance and realize you're stuck. Again. And here's the harsh truth. Delaying money decisions is one of the fastest ways of pushing money away. Avoidance doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you broke. We've been taught to wait until we're ready. But guess what? Wealth doesn't come to the most prepared. It comes to the most willing. The person who starts imperfectly is 10 miles ahead of the one still overthinking their way to bankruptcy. Here's what procrastination really is: a disguise for fear. Fear of failing. Fear of success. Fear of facing the numbers and seeing what's really going on. Take Aaron, for example. He'd been meaning to review his subscriptions for 6 months. "Too busy," he said. But when he finally sat down and looked at his accounts, he found $147 per month leaking from services he didn't even use. That's $1,700 a year lost to delay. And worse, he could have invested that money, but he never got around to opening the account. Every financial decision you avoid, whether it's investing, budgeting, negotiating, or learning, is like handing someone else the steering wheel of your life. Let me give you something simple. If it takes less than 10 minutes, do it now. If it takes longer, schedule it. Not someday, but a real date on your calendar, and stick to it like your future depends on it. Because it does. Because no, you're not lazy. You're just running an outdated pattern. And unless you interrupt that cycle, you'll keep pushing money away. One "I'll do it later" at a time. Up next, we're diving into something even more elusive: spending not as a means to live, but as a way to escape. Are you ready? Let's dive in. The most insidious habit that feels satisfying in the moment but quietly sabotages your progress and empties your wallet faster than you can say retail therapy is spending to cope. We all do it. A bad day turns into new shoes. An argument leads to a cart full of treats. Lonely night? Add to cart. But here's the hard truth. When you use money to manage emotions, you're not just making impulse buys. You're pushing money away in exchange for temporary peace. That dopamine hit you get from spending, it's not financial empowerment, it's emotional avoidance, and it has a cost. You're not just trading cash for stuff, you're trading freedom for comfort, your future for a feeling. Let me introduce you to a pattern that wrecks millions: stress, spend, guilt, and repeat. It's not about the purchase. It's about trying to fill a void that money was never meant to fix. And here's the sneaky part. It doesn't even feel destructive. Because you're not buying yachts. You're just grabbing dinner, clicking a sale link, upgrading your phone because you deserve it. But every emotional swipe is a message to your brain. I need to spend to feel better. And that belief quietly trains your nervous system to link money with escape. Not security, not growth, not abundance. Rich people don't spend less because they're boring. They spend intentionally because their self-worth isn't tied to what they own. Here's your challenge. The next time you feel the urge to treat yourself, pause and ask, what am I really trying to soothe right now? Because no discount, dopamine hit, or next-day delivery can solve what a good inner audit can. If you're ready to spend with power instead of pain, comment "conscious" down below. Because emotional spending doesn't mean you're weak. It means no one taught you how to feel without swiping. And coming up next, we're diving into the silent killer of financial opportunity, self-sabotage disguised as playing it safe. Let's get into it. Another signs that you're subconsciously pushing money away. You sabotage good opportunities. Sometimes you don't need the economy to block your breakthrough. You do it all by yourself. You get the DM from a potential client. You hesitate. You're invited to speak, collaborate, or pitch. You flake. You start a side hustle, build momentum, then vanish when it starts to feel real. That's not coincidence. That's subconscious sabotage. And yes, this is one more way you're pushing money away while pretending you're just too busy or not ready yet. Here's what most people don't realize. Fear of success is just as real and just as deadly as fear of failure. Because success brings change, visibility, responsibility. And if your identity still says, "I'm not that kind of person," your nervous system will find ways to hit the brakes, even when the road is clear. You'll delay, you'll overthink, you'll tell yourself, "It wasn't the right time," when really, it was the right time. Wrong mindset. Take Carla, for example. She was offered a chance to partner with a major brand on a personal finance podcast. She'd been dreaming of that kind of opportunity for years. And still, she ghosted the email. Why? Because deep down, she didn't feel expert enough. She sabotaged what could have been her breakthrough moment. Money flows through opportunity. If you keep ghosting the doors that open for you, eventually, they stop opening. You don't need to be fearless, you just need to show up anyway. Because becoming aware of these signs is only half the battle. Coming up next, we'll talk about the most toxic mindset of all. The one that poisons your relationship with wealth from the inside out. Let's dive in the next silent wealth killer. You resent people who have money. This one stings, but it might be the most powerful sign of all. If you find yourself rolling your eyes at wealth, judging successful people as greedy, lucky, or fake, if you automatically assume someone with money must have cheated to get there, you're not just expressing frustration. You're pushing money away by creating emotional distance from the very thing you claim to want. Let that land. Because your subconscious isn't going to let you become something you resent. It's not wired that way. It wants alignment, safety, moral clarity. So if you associate money with corruption, arrogance, or pain, you'll subconsciously avoid it, delay it, or sabotage it just to keep your integrity intact. Here's the thing. Money doesn't make you good or bad. It makes you more of who you already are. If you're generous, wealth expands your reach. If you're wise, money multiplies your choices. If you're grounded, wealth becomes a tool, not a trap. But if you've convinced yourself that rich equal evil, you'll fight every dollar that tries to stay in your life. Take Raul, for example. He grew up hearing his father say, "People like us don't need all that money. That's for the corrupt." So every time Raul got a raise, he'd sabotage it. He'd overspend, underprice, or donate from guilt, not generosity. Why? Because deep down, having money made him feel like a villain. Want to break that cycle? Comment, "No more resentment" below if you're done rejecting wealth in the name of morality, because you can't attract what you judge. You can't receive what you secretly despise. You can't rise while pointing fingers at those who already did. You've faced these signs. Now let's close these and take your power back. Let's be real. This wasn't just a list. This was a mirror. Because these signs you're subconsciously pushing money away aren't just random habits. They're the quiet, subtle ways we reject the very thing we say we want. Let's break it down, because I know a few of these hit deep. Maybe you feel guilty even talking about money as if wanting more makes you greedy. Maybe "I can't afford it" has become your daily mantra, not realizing it's a command your brain keeps obeying. Maybe you undercharge for your time and talent, hoping people won't notice your insecurity. Or maybe you procrastinate, not because you're lazy, but because your nervous system panics at the idea of responsibility. Maybe spending is your emotional escape, a short-term high that leaves long-term scars. Maybe you sabotage opportunities, cancel meetings, ghost clients, shrink from the spotlight, and maybe, just maybe, You've looked at wealthy people with judgment, not knowing that resentment blocks abundance like a locked door. But here's the good news. You're not broken. You're becoming aware. And awareness? That's where wealth begins. And if you're ready to go even deeper into the psychology behind your money patterns, check out the next video I linked below. 12 Psychological Money Problems. Mind over money. It'll show you what your bank account has been trying to tell you for years. You've stopped pushing money away, now let it find you. If this video hit home, and you're committed to protecting what you've built, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Don't hesitate to share this video, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, financial freedom isn't a dream. It's all about good habits.